In the headlines, PDP presidential candidate Atiku Abubakar rejects tribunal verdict set for Supreme Court. Reactions trail presidential election petitions tribunal verdict. Police arrest 13 suspected kidnappers, kill 4 in Kaduna. And away from Nigeria, military junta frees ousted Gabonese president, says Ali Bongo, free to travel abroad. Hello and welcome to Trust News Update. I am Abdurrahman Omar. Thanks for joining. And now the news. The presidential candidate of the People's Democratic Party, PDP, Atiku Abubakar, has rejected the verdict of the Presidential Election Petitions Tribunal that affirmed Bola Tinubu's victory at the February 2023 poll. While the court on Wednesday threw out Atiku's petition, that of his Labour Party counterpart Peter Obi and the allied People's Movement APM, Atiku of the main opposition party says he is undeterred and has instructed his lawyers to appeal the verdict. His party had earlier rejected the tribunal's verdict, saying it will consult its lawyers for the next course of action.
Consequently, I have asked my lawyers to activate my constitutionally guaranteed rights of appeal to the higher court, which in the instance is the Supreme Court of Nigeria. It is my conviction that the electoral process in Nigeria should be devoid of untidy manipulations and that the outcome of every election should be a perfect reflection of the wishes of the electorate. I believe that such is the only way through which our democracy can have a manifest expression of its true meaning. Whether I prevail in this quest or not, the record of my effort in ensuring an order of credible elections in Nigeria shall remain for the future generations to emulate.
In the meantime, Senate President Godswill Akpabio has urged the opposition to accept the judgment of the Presidential Election Petition Court, which on Wednesday affirmed the victory of President Bola Tinubu in the 2023 presidential election. The 5-member panel of justices presided over by Justice Haruna Zammani dismissed the petitions of Atiku Abubakar of People's Democratic Party, Peter Obi of the Labour Party, and Chichi Oje of the Allied People's Movement, and declared that Tinubu was duly elected. Akpabio, in a statement by his media office on Thursday, described the court verdict as an affirmation of the popular mandate of the Nigerian people for the Tinubu-Shettima ticket as delivered at the polls in February. He noted that the court painstakingly evaluated all the issues raised by the petitioners and delivered a clear verdict on the integrity of Nigeria's electoral process. Akpabio therefore urged Atiku, Obi and all Nigerians to support the Tinubu government in its drive to deliver the renewed hope agenda of the ruling All Progressives Congress, APC. The verdict of the Presidential Election Petitions Tribunal dismissing the petitions of the People's Democratic Party, Labour Party, and People's Democratic Movement have continued to generate reactions across the country. In Adamawa, some legal practitioners and public commentators expressed divergent views on the court judgment. Salis Lawan reports that the tribunal judgment has been the topic of discussion, especially in Yola, the home of the People's Democratic Party presidential candidate Atiku Abubakar. To report.
The tribunal, during the judgment, resolved key issues such as the majority of lawful vote cast, two-thirds of the vote cast in the FCT, $460,000 forfeited, dual citizenship and certification. While many describe the judgment of the Zammani-led panel as a victory for democracy, others are shocked with the outcome.
The judgment of yesterday I think is victory for democracy because if you follow the procedure or the process session very well, you see that all the issues that were brought forward, the allegations made against Tinubu, were trashed by the 5 judges.
We commend the judgment, we commend the panels for the painstaking time they took and the energy, the erudition in the delivery of the judgment. And for now, that is the law as far as the judgment is concerned. On
yesterday's victory was a victory against the public opinion, because I must first of all appreciate the efforts of the 5-man panel that have gone through the rigors of attending to all the 3 different petitions the pronouncement were made on yesterday, and they did wonderfully well. We pray to God to continue to bless them with strength and wisdom so that they can continue to carry national assignments that will improve on our democratization problem.
Also dismissed the ground of the PDP and Labour Party that to count of votes in 24 states of the Federation, and the FCT was a requirement to be declared winner of the presidential election. However, Barrister Sunday Wigera, a legal practitioner, holds a contrary view as regards the FCT being accorded the same status as one of the state of the Federation, certification, dual citizenship, and $460,000 for futures.
I am of the belief that the FCT is a special territory as far as our law is concerned with regards to election. Sequel to the provision of section 134, but where the court says it is just like any state, then the FCT must be made a state in every sense of it. It must have a governor, it must have the state assembly, the National Assembly must not be making laws for the state, people coming from various parts of the country. They have indigenous people, they must legislate for themselves.
Issue of seeking redress either at the first instance or on appeal. It is the right of the parties. If they are going on appeal, it is a welcome development, because we, the All Progressive Congress, were already in government. If somebody is saying that let's peacefully go on appeal to slug out our issues, our differences, because we are not in agreement with what the trial or the appellate petition constated, that is a welcome development.
The 5-member panel of justices, presided by Justice Haruna Tsammani, declared that Tinubu was duly elected. The Independent National Electoral Commission had on March 1st declared Tinubu winner of the election with 8,794,726 votes as against 6,984,520 by Atiku and 6,101,533 votes by Obi. Salis Lawan, Trust TV News, Yola.
Residents of Bauchi State have reacted to the verdict of the Presidential Election Petitions Tribunal, expressing mixed feelings about the ruling of the party. For some, despite the outcome, the petitioners should put Nigeria first and discontinue further legal pursuits in the interest of nation building. Adamu Imam files in the report.
Presiding judge of the Election Tribunal, Justice Haruna Tsammani, led 4 other judges in dismissing the major planks on which Peter Obi rested his petition, challenging the victory of President Bola Tinubu of the All Progressives Congress in the 2023 general elections. In Bauchi State, residents have been reacting to the verdict of the tribunal. As citizens of this country, we know what we are going through. However, we accept the outcome of the election and the subsequent verdict of the tribunal because God chose him to lead us. My appeal for those who won is that they should make sure they work for the masses of this country and not siphon Nigerians' wealth and enjoy it with their families in the name of leadership. Since there are constitutional provisions for redress, if the judgment is not favorable to the petitioners, they can approach the Supreme Court. Our position is that if the judges did justice to the petitions, people should accept the verdict in good faith. It is not our wish in any case to lose, but God has already predestined what is going to happen. Those that won and lost at the tribunal should think about Nigeria and move the country forward.
Let everybody go back and exercise more, because more. The fact we have not lost hope. We are coming back. In fact, we'll win the battle. At least before 3 years now, we'll enter under election.
The tribunal also rejected 10 out of the 13 witnesses presented by Mr. Obi and ruled that the judgment of the U.S. Direct Court in Northern Illinois ordering the forfeiture of $460,000 being connected to proceeds of narcotic does not disqualify Tinubu from participating in the last general election. Samani stressed that the judgment was not given in a criminal case, adding that the decision does not amount to conviction as envisaged under the Nigerian Constitution. Adamu Imam, Trust TV News, Bauchi.
The National and State House of Assembly Election Petition Tribunal sitting in Benin City, the Edo State capital, on Thursday dismissed 2 petitions challenging the victory of 2 Labour Party candidates in the February 25th House of Representatives election for Larkin and Merit. In one of the petitions, the candidate of the People's Democratic Party (PDP) in that election, Akohurobu Asimuede, and his party had challenged the outcome of the election of LP's Mopi Omorui for Ego Epoba Oka Federal Constituency. Asimuede contended that the election was invalid by reason of corrupt practices, non-compliance with requirements of the Electoral Act 2022 as amended, adding that the first respondent, Mopi, was not qualified to contest the election as he was not a member of the third respondent, the Labour Party. The tribunal, in dismissing the petition, held that the petitioners did not prove any of the grounds of the petition. In the petition filed by the All Progressives Congress APC and its candidate in that election, Erebu Crosby Osadolo, the tribunal also held that the petitioners failed to prove any of the grounds of the petition. The tribunal also dismissed the petition of Sunday Agwebo of the PDP and his party against the Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC), candidate of the Labour Party in the February 25th House of Representatives election for Oredo Federal Constituency, Yahweh Isosa, and the Labour Party for Larkin in Merit. The member representing Esuokotu Omoenechu Federal Constituency of Abia State in the House of Representatives, Amobioga, has rejected the judgment of the National Assembly Election Petitions Tribunal, which obtained his victory. The tribunal, which sat in Umuahia, had nullified Amobi's election and declared the All Progressives Congress APC candidate and current Minister of State for Labour Nkiruka Oyejojo as the winner of the election for alleged non-compliance with provisions of the Electoral Act. But Amobi, while reacting to the verdict in a statement in Abuja on Thursday, described the judgment as strange and a miscarriage of justice, adding that he will appeal the verdict. Amobi further said he was confident that the desperation and mischievous attempt to scuttle the will of the people will be overturned by the justices of the appellate court. The police command in Kaduna State has arrested 13 suspected kidnappers and killed 4 in the last 1 month. The command's acting public relations officer, Assistant Superintendent of Police Nasir Hassan, made the disclosure at a news conference in Kaduna on Thursday. According to him, the suspects were arrested based on intelligence reports. He added that the police killed the 4 on different occasions during exchange of gunfire with criminals. Hassan also disclosed that the command arrested no fewer than 10 suspected members of the street gang, popularly known as Sarasuka. He also said that the command recovered from crime suspects 2 AK-47 rifles, 3 locally made fabricated revolvers, 2 motorcycles and 15 live cartridges during the period under review. Now, Defense Headquarters says troops of the armed forces have in the last 3 months neutralized 817 terrorists, apprehended 1,326 criminals, and rescued 721 hostages in different operations across the country. The Director of Defense Media Operations, Major General Edward Buba, made this known while briefing newsmen on military operations across the country on Thursday in Abuja. Buba said those apprehended include 42 kidnappers, 231 terrorist collaborators, 33 armed robbers, 80 cattle rustlers, 325 militias, 27 rails vandals, 73 gun runners, and 191 suspected oil thieves. He added that a total of 4,560 terrorists and their families surrendered to troops in the northeast during the period. He said that troops also recovered 501 weapons, 3,577 livestock, 3,269 assorted kinds of ammunition, and 674 other equipment within the period under review. You're watching the news update. Coming off after the break, we take a look at how putting food on the table remains a big challenge for physically challenged persons. Details of this and more after the break. Please stay with us.
We don't have the know-how of exporting these yams to other countries. So the highest point we go is Port Harcourt and sometimes Warri.
When we talk about agricultural produce, we look at quality. And what is quality? Quality is fit for purpose.
Getting to the port was difficult because your container can be on the queue for over 30 days. Imagine if you are having sesame or hibiscus for 30 days locked inside a container. So these are some of the reasons why we are having rejection.
Welcome back. If you are just joining us, this is the news update on Trust TV, and here is a recap of some of our top stories. PDP presidential candidate Atiku Abubakar rejects tribunal verdict set for Supreme Court. A reaction trailed presidential election petitions tribunal verdict. Now to more news. Residents of Kano State say the first 100 days of the new administration of President Bola Tinubu have been characterized by a steady increase in the cost of living. Trust TV correspondent Idris Jibrin went around Kano metropolis and reports on how people are struggling to cope with the current situation. His report.
From markets to public places, schools and healthcare institutions, streets and motor parks, Nigerians in Kano claimed that nothing has so far changed. With the high cost of living eating deep into people's earnings, Kano residents say virtually everything is tough at the moment.
We are not coping very well. The current situation is very hard, we are not even coping well. But we are just thanking God. So the situation is very hard. The cost of food, the cost of the fuel, the cost of everything is very high. You want to go to any place now, the transportation, you are going to be thinking of transportation.
In the market, for instance, the price of food items and other essential commodities are recording daily increase.
Things are getting out of hand. What we believe that this new government will give to us is no longer what we are seeing. This is just its 100 days in office and things are like this. I will still have more 3 years and 200 and something days to go. So the things are not going well. Nigerians are not happy.
According to Kano residents, increase in the price of petroleum product has led to high cost of transportation, which effectively affected the demand and supply in the markets.
Things are not going the way it was before because a lot of many things now have changed, especially all this problem of this our fuel scarcity issue. Transportation, means of lives of living are very hard these days. In fact, the only thing we can say, let's pray to Almighty God to help our leaders to lead us right.
Although government is currently distributing palliatives to people, but there are growing concerns that things could get worse in the next coming days. Idris Jibrin, Trust TV News, Kano.
People with special needs are among the hardest hit by the economic crunch in Nigeria, which was triggered by the removal of fuel subsidy. To many, the struggle to put food on their tables remains a top priority, while foregoing other responsibilities and necessities. Abdullahi Ahmadi meets some people with special needs in Mashi local government area in Katsina State who shared their experience. His report.
Even though some of these people with special needs struggle to make ends meet, their major life dream is to have a tricycle to ease their difficulties of movement. Their difficulties has been made worse with the recent fuel subsidy removal, which affected the standard and cost of living. This is the first time in history people with special needs are considered in anything from the government. Many of us are feeling the crunch as we go to bed on empty stomach. However, we are now carried along. We have over 5 special advisors and 4 special assistants in this local government alone. We thank God. For this vulnerable group in Mashi, it is a dream come true as the local council distributes 10 tricycles and other food items to ease some of their difficulties. This gesture comes at a time when the harsh economic realities is biting hard, not only on the people with special needs, but the generality of the population.
The people with the special needs and also they belong to this local government area. As government, it is necessary, it is sine qua non for us to come up with the program that will take care of them. Not only the government, it is necessary for any other individual within and outside our society to look after the need of these people.
Public commentators suggest the immediate implementation of more measures to cushion the effects of the current economic difficulties. Abdullahi Ahmadi, Trust Television News, Katsina.
Now, the need to ensure that driving schools in the nation's capital, Abuja, are FRSC compliant as a way of churning out responsible and professional drivers has again been brought to the fore. This follows the cases of road crashes in the FCT, which many blame on driving schools that may not have passed all the necessary checks of the FRSC, as well as drivers' attitude. Noel Samson has more.
A good driving school helps a would-be driver transform into a safe and responsible driver. Along with different driving techniques, they are also taught about the necessary skills to drive safely. This helps ensure safety for not only the driver and the vehicle, but also for everybody else on the road. Hence, they need to go for the one that's accredited by the FRSC.
When you go through the driving school, you will be given a certificate after you have attended 26 sections. And after attending the 26 sections, you'll be given a certificate. And on the certificate, there is a special number for you, and it's the number that you key in the portal if you want to get your driver's license. So there's no way you can bypass driving school if you want to get a license.
With Abuja being ranked second nationwide in terms of road crashes, questions have been raised about the attitude of drivers in the FCT as well as the quality of driving schools in the city.
You must be registered with CAC, that's Corporate Affairs Commission. Then you must have a vehicle that have dual control. You must have that dual control means that you have the steering by this left side. You also have the same thing at the right side. Then you must have a simulator, which otherwise can call a dummy vehicle. You must have a course manual. You must have licensed instructors. You must have the highway code. You must have the traffic laws and regulation. Then you must also have an admin office. You must have a range. A range is where you can teach somebody how to drive. You must have an office or a classroom for the students. Some drivers in Abuja, some of them don't go to driving school. Some of them just wake up one morning, okay, I can drive. You understand? Especially nowadays, you see that some drivers now, they're using automatic. You know, automatic is not that hard now. So when they just wake up one morning, it's in automatic, I can move it now. It's not to just sit down and control. Before you know, they'll start driving.
So the reason why you see some accidents now is that they didn't go through. It's not that they cannot drive, they can drive, but they didn't know the basic in that driving.
Driving a car can be intimidating at first, but attending driving school gives you the tools and knowledge to feel reassured behind the wheels. Noel Samson, Trust TV News, Abuja.
And now away from Nigeria, the former president of Gabon, Ali Bongo, who was overthrown in a coup, is free to leave the nation and travel abroad. The revolution's mastermind declared on Wednesday. General Brice Oligui Nguema said in a statement that was aired on state television that he has freedom of movement and can travel abroad if he wishes. Since the military takeover on August 30th, which occurred without any loss of life, and less than an hour after Bongo's party declared his re-election in a ballot that the purchased deemed fraudulent. Bongo, who had been in power for 14 years, had been placed under house arrest. In October 2018, Bongo experienced a severe stroke that left him physically disabled, with particular difficulties using his right arm and leg. And now finally on sport news, Sao Tome and Principe have arrived in Oyo, the Akwa Ibom state capital, for their 2023 Africa Cup of Nations qualifier against the Super Eagles of Nigeria. The True Patriots arrived at the Victor Arthur International Airport around 11:50 a.m. 21 players, coaches and officials of the Sao Tome and Principe Football Federation made the trip. They will take on the Super Eagles at the Goswill Akpabio International Stadium, Oyo, on Sunday. The True Patriots occupy the bottom spot in group and will be playing for pride. They were battered 10-0 by the Super Eagles in the reverse fixture. And with that, we have come to the end of the Trusting News Update. Do not forget to follow us across all our media platforms and our YouTube live stream. I am Abdurrahman Umar. Thanks for watching and bye for now.